Hey everybody, and welcome to the show. I'm your host Rob Wu, and sitting alongside me is our expert analyst. He's our fight insider, Josh the babyface assassin Barnett.
Well, it's great to be moving along with Pancrase here, and I think we're going to be introducing a lot of the second generation of Pancrase stars to you guys as you've been following along here, and some of the names that I'm a little familiar with from actually competing against them, like Yuki Kondo.
All right, let's forget about those names for a second. Let's talk about your name. Now, your nickname is the babyface assassin.
Right.
Now, that was given to you, but if you could give yourself a nickname, what would it be? And give me something good. I don't want Mr. Awesome or something like that.
How about Food Bulldozer?
Food Bulldozer. Take that up with your manager. All right, in our first fight, we're going to see Katsuomi Kunioku versus Takafumi Ito. Now, Josh, Kunioku started his career out as a ring boy like a lot of other fighters, and the lives that these ring boys lead, not very easy.
No, in fact, it's sort of, as Pancrase is a derivative from pro wrestling, a lot of the etiquette and the culture from pro wrestling is carried into Pancrase, and usually initiates will go through a tryout period. Certain folks will make it through. Once you've been brought in within the company, what you're going to have to do is work your way up by doing laundry, putting the ring together. You're going to be an attendant to one of the senior wrestlers for some time. But at the same time, those senior wrestlers usually will show you the tricks of the trade, maybe take you under their wing and sort of bring you up alongside. And that's no stranger for Kunioku or any of the other guys that we'll be seeing some later on in Pancrase.
And now it's Kunioku's time to shine. He has yet to win a fight, and he's going to take on Takafumi Ito.
Takafumi Ito versus Kyuma Kunioku.
Ito and Kunioku both, I wouldn't call them exactly undersized, but Pancrase at this time was an open weight class federation, and basically you could be 160 pounds and fight somebody 260 pounds. So these guys are more similar in size, height, weight, so that's going to play a factor, I believe, in this fight. But Kunioku had a very brilliant run not too long ago, maybe about 2 to 3 years back, and he held 2 titles in 2 different weight classes for Pancrase.
All right, the fighters exchanging some kicks early on. Ito is in the yellow, neon yellow it looks like, and Kunioku wearing the pink color.
A little bit of a feeling out process between the two of them. Ito looking for his entry.
And right there, it looks like Kunioku, a nice right leg takes down Ito. Now, I know Kunioku's in a hip hop. I don't know if he's heard the song Pop, Lock, and Drop It, but that's exactly what he did to Ito.
He just got entirely devastated by that really well-timed low kick. I don't know if it was per chance, but I'd happen to think that Kunioku saw the signs that Ito was going to take a shot at that moment and just set it up perfectly, landed that kick flush right into the face of Ito, and that's a brutal way to go out.
Ito not looking too well. The doctors have to keep his mouth open. I'm not really sure if he understands where he's at right now, and Kunioku, of course, very concerned, trying to check on Ito, as Kunioku is the winner early on in the first round. This fight didn't even last 2 minutes. Kunioku picks up his first career victory, but as we see, very concerned with the health of Ito. As we take a look at the replay, it looks like Ito lowered his head and almost ran into that leg of Kunioku.
Looking to set up a double leg takedown, Kunioku reacts, times the kick as soon as Ito drops in for the level change and eats it flush in the face.
And now we see Ito on the stretcher, and there is Kunioku trying to make sure that he's okay, and Ito seems to be responsive. Very good sign, Josh.
Well, one thing to keep in mind about Pancrase is that these guys are not from all different separate gyms at this time. They're not coming from, even though they may be coming from different countries, the majority of all the Japanese fighters actually all train together, live together, similar to the pro wrestling system. They all have a singular dojo, and all these guys, and that may seem kind of odd to a lot of people, but culturally, it was really no big deal for, like, Kunioku and Ito could possibly be roommates at the dojo, and yet they're going to go out there in the ring and fight.
So obviously Kunioku very close to Ito outside of the ring.
Yes.
All right, in our next fight, we're going to see Osami Shibuya versus Yuki Kondo. Now, Josh, you're very familiar with Yuki Kondo. You actually beat him to become the king of Pancrase.
Yeah, Yuki Kondo is a very dynamic fighter and one of the most prolific strikers within Pancrase. He is also somebody that is continued on to fight heavier than his weight class most of the time, even within the weight class systems that we have now. Instead of, say, fighting at 185 pounds, Kondo still took a majority of fights at heavyweight and even 205 pounds, being undersized. So that spirit of Pancrase and fighting all comers and all sizes is still within the heart of Yuki Kondo.
And you can definitely argue that Yuki Kondo has fought a greater diversity of fighters than anyone else in the sport.
Yeah, that you could certainly argue that point. Yuki Kondo has gone against a who's who of great fighters in the sport, and more often than not, beaten them.
And Yuki Kondo, not yet a superstar. This is just his third fight. Let's see how he does.
Yuki Kondo versus Osami Shibuya.
And right off the bat, this fight goes to the ground.
Nice double leg takedown by Shibuya, well timed off of the advance of Kondo, now in the half guard, with Kondo clinching very tight off the bottom.
And Josh, if this fight does stay on the mat, is there one fighter that you favor?
Well, Kondo is a very well versed on the submission game, but I think that Shibuya is probably the stronger grappler of the two, maybe conserving his energy for a little later.
And now, Kondo throwing some palm strikes, usually frowned upon, Josh, but I think he's been watching some Yoshiki Takahashi highlights.
Well, like I was talking about earlier, these are some of these guys, like Shibuya and Kondo, are from the second generation of Pancrase fighters. And as you'll see, there's a little bit of a evolution, or just maybe even a style difference in the fact that they were more apt to striking on the ground, or even developing more striking techniques standing as well.
And Kondo, just his third fight, but so far looking very comfortable as you see the ref break the fighters. That will sometimes happen if there's not enough action or if the fighter nears the ropes.
Back on the feet, Kondo and Shibuya.
Exchanging strikes, and as you said, Josh, Kondo should have the advantage on the feet, but it looks like Shibuya is holding his own out there.
Yeah, Shibuya really bringing it to Kondo right now. Getting the single leg, but Shibuya trying to stop that at all costs with a nice takedown into side control on Kondo and sort of reestablish control of this match.
Kondo is near the ropes, so Shibuya should at some point attempt to move him to the center of the ring. If not, the referee, as we see right there, breaks the fighters up once again.
Well, like I said, Shibuya really right now is going to try and find the rhythm of this match. Again, going for the takedown, getting the single leg, Kondo fighting hard, sprawling, and taking the back.
And once again, Kondo on the back of Shibuya, trying to work on that neck.
Yeah, it's really critical for Shibuya to get control of the rhythm, the pacing of this match, so that he can dictate not only where the fight's at, but establish control and have somebody like Kondo reacting instead of being able to make the decisions and influence where Shibuya is going to go, just like he did when he did get that mount and he threw those shotes, causing Shibuya to roll over and setting him right up into that choke, which got him that rope escape early on.
And as this fight continues to progress, time is ticking, and Shibuya, he knows he's losing. So as this fight gets later and later, does Shibuya start feeling the pressure to make the first move?
He certainly has to, and
looks like it's too late though. The round is over, and this will go to the judges. But it looks like Kondo should be the winner because Shibuya did lose the point on that first escape.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And what it really seemed like a very evenly matched fight. However, at that critical moment, Kondo established that control from the mount, threw those strikes, and was able to cause Shibuya to react, and then he was able to take advantage of it. After that, Shibuya was never really able to come back and really essentially take control and get some revenge or cause a lost point or a knockdown on his behalf either.
All right, and Josh, I was so impressed with your answer about the hot pink that we saw at one of the fighters wear. I wanted to ask you, you might have noticed my hair is a little different than some of the previous shows. What do you think about this?
I'd say you could rock it just fine, but really it's not my opinion so much that matters as you should probably ask one of the lovely ladies around here.
I'm looking out there. I'm seeing maybe I'll do that during this commercial break. And we are going to go to commercial, but when we come back, it's Jason DeLucia versus Yoshiki Takahashi.